Katie Davis' birthday, I see.
Yes, today, 28th August.
I have a very good memory about Katie Davy. I will just, before we start regular, I will tell you that story. We had performed one big drama in Mehrabad. After Baba dropped his body, I had written a drama in which all the seven avatars, starting from Zoroaster and ending on Meher Baba, they were brought before the public, and it's very small children, very small children. And there was singing and there was dancing and a message given by that particular avatar. And the drama turned out to be so very nice, so very good that Katie was sitting with Mansari, and she asked Mansari to call that boy who has staged this drama. So I was called there, and Katie said that what Katie said is, in my lifetime, I have never seen such a drama, such a beautiful drama. It was a sort of a dream like, just as if a dream, one is seeing a dream. That sort of a drama it was. And Katie said so. So all those memories of the olden times, they come to our mind whenever we get a chance to speak. I have been told by Ganesh that people would like to know about Dr. Gani, but today I am taking a different topic, uh, more concerned with my personal life. So, because Guru Prasad time is so very full of stories, full of stories. There are stories, personal stories. There are, in fact, that was a period when Meher Baba entered our personal lives. He actually was taking interest in everybody's life. All the people, all the boys and girls of Pune, they had come so close to Meher Baba. He often used to go to Guru Prasad, and all their families. Baba was very much felt concerned about all these families, and he would every time inquire about everything of our lives and will guide whenever it comes to that. So that was a very, I would say, golden days of our lives. Very, very nice period, very good period. And when I come to that, there will be a lot of stories, a lot of, there were so many singing programs, so many singers had come to Baba, and they had given very beautiful programs. They have their own stories. All that I will be covering up, trying to cover in the last session. And as you said, Ganesh said that there won't be last session for me. I will request for furthermore for Gani, Dr. Gani. I think it will take about one session for Dr. Gani, because Gani has been a very uh, dear subject for all of us. Very, very dear subject for all of us. And thereafter, I intend to take K.K. Ramakrishnan, also one who has been a secretary of Pune Center, a very chosen one, I would say, chosen by Meher Baba himself.
We'll start. So we can start right now, I think, I guess, yeah. So Jai Baba, everybody. Thanks for joining in. So questions, as usual, will be taking in the end. So whoever has a question can digitally raise their hands, okay? And then maybe like Pratap uncle, now it's up to you, like how much time you want to talk. And then in the end, we will take the questions. So over to you.
Thank you so much. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Last time I have told you about our meeting one-on-one meeting with Meher Baba. And thereafter, when I returned to Pune, I got much involved in Baba work. All my spare time I used to spend for programs, attending several programs wherever they are held. And in the year 1954, for 1 year, I went to stay in Nagar. That is Mr. Thadi. I had earlier referred to his name. So Mr. Thadi, he was transferred, he was promoted to an officer's post and posted to Nagar. And on their request, I also went and stayed with them. In Nagar, I came in contact with several Baba people, Chagan Master, then Vishnu Master, Padri Kaka, then Dr. Donkin, Kaka Baria, Adi Kirani. Adi Kirani's mother also. In fact, we used to go every day to Adi's Khushtu quarters. That is the trust area, trust now where the trust is situated. So all these activities, all these has been fine for me to be comfortable with all these people. And when I returned to Pune again, by that time, K.K. Ramakrishnan, who was in the military service, he had taken voluntary retirement because of his health problems, and he had come and settled in Pune. And he was taking keen interest in organizing these Baba programs in Pune. He was staying a little bit away from Pune, that is the about 5 kilometers from Pune area, Karki area. And every day he would come in the evening, manage the programs, and thereafter in the midnight he will go back to his place. So my moving in this group, he requested Baba that Baba, the activities in Pune, they need to be in a better organized way. And for that matter, he requested Baba to hold a meeting. And that is how the meeting was held. It was not in Guru Prasad, but it was in Botanical Garden. Botanical Garden, it is a very big area where they develop plants, new plants, and make experiments on these plantations. And Dadi Kerawal was the chief of that whole area. And he had a very big quarter, and Baba, certain times, certain years, Baba had stayed there. So this particular year, Baba was staying there, and Baba had called for a meeting of all the Pune workers and lovers. Now, in fact, my involvement in all this work was so much that nobody could have ignored me. But somehow I was very keenly waiting, and I was also cocksure about myself because I thought that my involvement will definitely will be taken note of, and I will be invited for this meeting because that was a meeting of the workers of Pune Center, and the names were specifically taken out, specified, and no other outside was invited. This is because it was for a purpose, and Baba did not, want to mix up with taking darshan and gardening and all that thing. So for a specific purpose, Baba would like it to be free of all these formalities. And Bhausar, one of the very ardent lovers of Pune Center, he was conveying the message to different people, and I was very keenly waiting for that message to come to me. Those days, Baba would not allow to pass on the information by themselves. If you get the information, you have to keep quiet. You have to keep it to yourself, not to disclose it to. And Baba used to say, Bomba boom nachi karwanu, like this. Bomba boom nachi karwanu. But we are not to shout out and collect the people, tell the people about this meeting. That was Baba's gesture, and we were careful about that. But then somehow, because of movements of the people and suggestive expression on their faces, one could make out that there is something is going on behind the curtain. And I was very keenly waiting for this invitation. And you will not believe, but up to that meeting time, I was waiting in my house, expecting any time that invitation will come to me. But unfortunately for me, I received no invitation for that meeting. And I got so much upset, as if I have lost everything. I have lost everything in my life. I, I could not stay at home. I told my mother that I am going out. And in a very sad mood, I took my bicycle and went around Pune, outside area, Pune, aimlessly wandering here and there, and ultimately came on the confluence of two rivers that is called Sangam, the area of Sangam Bridge. Sangam is the confluence of two rivers. So on that bridge, I sat on the wall, keeping my bicycle just near that wall, and I was sitting on the wall. I was closing my eyes and visualizing that meeting must have started now, and Baba must have received the people, and people may be enjoying Baba's company and all that. And how unfortunate I am that I have lost this opportunity. I was so very upset, so very upset. But then gradually I sat there for quite a long time, and gradually some people passes by, they suspected something, and they asked me to get away from there. I said, no, I'm just sitting here. Just don't worry about it. I don't have anything in my mind to. They thought that this boy may commit suicide, but I had no thought of that. I was simply spending time and estimating the time that meeting might have now completed. And then I, very in a dejected mood, as a completely wounded soldier, I went home, and I just practically threw my cycle at my house and entered my house, and my mother shouted so loudly on me, "Where were you? You never tell where you are going." So I said, what happened? So Baba had sent his car to take you for the meeting. Oh my God, that was another shock for me. Baba had sent his car to bring you to Botanical Garden. And a message was left with my mother that if I am able to reach there by 4 o'clock, then I should try. Otherwise, forget about it. But I am not going to forget about it. I took my bicycle. My mother said, at least to take your food. No, I said, there is no time for me. And I rode back to uh, Botanical Garden. You can just imagine how fast I must have rode the bicycle. I reached there just uh, 15 minutes before, at about 4:15. Sorry, 3:45. I reached there. I just practically threw my bicycle and climbed these few steps and stood there on the doorway. Baba looked at me so compassionately, and she asked me, why you didn't come for the meeting? That very question brought, I burst out in tears. Practically burst out in tears. And for some time, Baba allowed me to weep. And then I said, Baba, I was not called for this meeting. Then Baba called me inside, made me sit there a few yards away from him. And now Eraj is communicating with me. Baba said, how is that you were not invited for this meeting? How your name was dropped? I said, no, Baba, I do not know. Then Baba would attend to some other conversation. Then again turn to me and ask me, but it is surprising you are taking so very keen interest in all the activities, Baba activities. Still, then you were not invited for this meeting. How it can happen? I said, no, Baba, I do not know. And again, Baba would attend to some other things. Again, he will turn to me and said, but you could have come. I said, Baba, it was invitation by specific names. And had I come without permission, you might have been not liked it. Baba said, yes, that is also correct. Then he will attend to some other conversation, again turn to me. But it was all right if you would have come. I said, Baba, my answer was the same. Baba's question was the same. For quite some time, Baba kept on asking the same questions, and I kept on answering the same way. And ultimately, Baba asked Eraj how Pratap was not invited for this meeting. So Eraj said, no, Baba, I have not taken out that list. I have not made out that list. Then who has made out that list? Somebody had laid out, Eraj told this boy had taken out that list. And that turned out to be my best friend. My best friend, my classmate and best friend. And then Baba started teasing me. What type of friends you have? What type of friends you have? He is so your close friend. You are studying together, you are classmates. You come to me together. You come together to watch cricket match with me. And in spite of that, he has forgotten you to include your name. I said, no, I do not know, but something has happened like that. And Baba kept on teasing me on this. And then, very seriously, looking straight at me and pointing his finger like it. Remember one thing. All these father, mother, brothers, sisters, your relations, your friends, they are your companions for certain time. But I am the only companion who is there with you right from the beginning, that very beginning, and will remain you till the very end. And I emphasize the words very beginning means very beginning, and very end means very end. Baba emphasized that, and Baba said, remember this always. Since that time, whenever I have some difficulties or some problems, I always recall those words, Baba's words, that I am the only companion. This is what happened in botanical gardens. There is another story. All these stories are very much concerning to my personal life. How Baba has dealt with me, the way one can make out from this. There is another story which also had happened in Botanical Gardens. It was a darshan program. The whole hall was full of people, and Baba, during such darshan programs, Baba would be pouring his love. He was actually pouring his love, and everybody will get bathed in that love. Everybody got bathed in that love, and Baba's mood will be very happy. In fact, we have several times noticed this in Guru Prasad also. This is just a little bit of diversion from this original story. But in Guru Prasad, we have noticed several times that when Baba is sitting with in the Mandali hall, he would look very tired, very pale, very pulled down, and very sort of a sick. But then, if there is a darshan program, he would simply inquire about the time. What is the time? The Baba is still 15 minutes. Oh, it is a lot of time. Then again, after 5 minutes, we again inquire what is the time. And he will keep on inquiring about the time. And exactly just 1 minute before, he will stand up, he will move his palms on his face, and there will be a different Meher Baba altogether. Majestically, he will go inside the hall. So that used to be Baba's face when he sits for darshan. Likewise, when this darshan was going on in Botanical Garden, this whole hall was full, and the atmosphere had become so very emotional. Our Bhajan Mandali was sitting there, whole of the Bhajan Mandali, Madhusudan, Subhadra, myself, Narendra Thade, and so many others. And one old person, he just gets up and says to Meher Baba, he must have been a old time friends of Meher Baba. I do not, I have never seen him, but it must be quite an old person. He stands up and says to Meher Baba, you are better than you. A butcher is better than you. Butcher, one who kills the animal, a butcher is better than you because he cuts the animal within one stroke. But you are such a butcher who, who wants to kill slowly, 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 so that it is more painful to all those who are being cut. That was the simile he used for Baba, and Baba was smiling at him. See the emotion that person had in his heart, and then our turn was there to sing songs, and abruptly it was very unusual because we all used to sing with Madhusudan. Madhusudan was our leading singer, and we used to join with him many times. During that, by that time, I was playing always harmonium for Madhusudan because the one who was playing earlier, Mr. Ramchandra Gaikwad, he was transferred from there to other place, and he left Pune, and that responsibility had come to me. I had learned little bit of, but then playing it with Madhusudan, I had a very good practice of playing harmonium and also singing. Madhusudan never used to sing playing harmonium. He wanted to be free while singing, but I had practiced to sing and play harmonium both at a time. So abruptly, Bob asked me, "You sing a song." I was in a those days. I used to be in a uh, very upset mood because of certain problems, my personal problems, my college days, and I had taken engineering as my course, and which was very expensive for me, and I was finding it practically impossible for managing for the money matters. And those days I used to be under a lot of tension, and perhaps Under that tension, I had composed one song myself. I started singing that song. रूठ गए क्यों मेहर हमारी, बार बार दिल उनको पुकारे. The meaning is why Meher Baba has become so very indifferent to me. My heart is calling for him. In the last stanza, I have said that my mind is a toy in his hands. He can play with my mind any way he likes, any way he likes. But I will be keep on calling him. That was a song I selected and I sang. And while singing the last stanza, I could not hold my tears and started weeping, weeping very uncontrollably. I started weeping. Baba allowed me to weep for some time, and then he asked, "What has happened to you?" I said, "Nothing, Baba. It's just I became emotional." Then Baba said, "There is something wrong with you because you appear very sick." I said, "No, Baba, I am all right." No, no. Then he said that whenever in Guru Prasad also, whenever you come before me, I find you always very sick and very always coughing. And then Baba asked me to get up. He called me near and he asked me to show my nails. He pressed my nails just to examine uh, whether I was anemic. Then he also opened my eyes like this just to see whether I have enough blood in my body. And then he called Dr. Gore from inside. The ladies were sitting behind. So Dr. Gore was called. In fact, Dr. Bharacha was sitting next to Baba, but Baba didn't consult him. Baba called Gopar and told Gore just go near him and just see how is his health. She came close to me and said, "Baba, he is very he lacks good food. Perhaps he is not taking good food, and he lacks nutrition. He needs nutritious food." And Baba asked me whether you take milk and butter. Those days I could not afford to take milk and butter because I was not getting any money from anywhere. So I was unable to have that luxury of taking everyday milk and butter. And then Baba allowed me to take my seat. After Baba returned to Mera Azad, I received a letter written by Erach that Baba wants to know all about your life, your personal responsibilities, and everything that is about you. And I was always reluctant to draw Baba's attention to my personal difficulties. I never wanted that. I never thought of doing that because it was my feeling that Baba is at such a great height, and why should I drag Baba to my petty problems? I had to face myself. But then Baba is not going to allow me that, and he wanted to enter my life, open up everything that was hid in my life. And she asked me to write down whatever was there happening in my personal life. So I wrote everything about my personal things about my life. And then next letter, I had to look after my mother and my younger brother, three brothers, younger brothers. I had to look after that, and I had taken a temporary service in the municipal corporation. I had to leave my education, and this I wrote to Baba, and Baba, I replied another letter from ARH stating that Baba is very happy. Baba is proud of you, whatever you are doing for your mother and your younger brothers. But you should do it rejoicingly, taking it to be my wish, Miss Baba's wish. That is the reply I received. And then in the same letter, the heirs has stated that Baba will be hereafter, Baba will be paying 25 rupees per month to you to be utilized only for taking milk and butter. So that was the provision which Baba had made for me. This provision continued. This amount was received by me from Adi Kirani. Baba had asked Adi to pay me 24 rupees per month on Baba's behalf. And Baba had said that this is as a prasad, it will be paid to you by Adi on Baba's behalf. And I was receiving that prasad every month. At times 2-3 months together, at times every month. But not a single month was missed. Every month I was receiving that. This continued up to, you will not believe, but this continued up to 67. Baba dropped his body 69. Up to 67, I received a letter from Adi Kirani asking me, Baba wants to know, Baba, when I had gone to Merazad, Baba inquired about you. Baba wants to know as to where are you now, what you are doing. And then the inquiry as to whether Baba was paying you 25 rupees on behalf of Baba. I was paying you 25 rupees per month as his prasad. Whether you still need it. If you need it, don't hesitate to say yes. But if you don't need it, please inform me so that I can inform in turn to Baba. I immediately took a paper and wrote down that I was receiving this. I never expected this. But Baba has, on his own, he has started paying me this amount as his prasad. I was taking him actually as his prasad. And I had my own sentiments behind this. I never thought, whenever Baba wants to stop it, it is up to Baba. He can stop it anytime. As far as my financial conditions are there, they are much improved now. I can manage my own family now, and Baba can stop it anytime he wants. And then another letter which I received from Adi, Baba is very happy to read your letter, and hereafter this amount you will be stopped, and thereafter the amount was stopped. See how many months there, how many years, right from 1967 to 67 to 57 to 67. About 10 years I was receiving this amount. So that is the care which Baba had taken about the health. Another stories about my marriage, I would say. Madhusudan was married in the year 1959. 59, Madhusudan was married, and I was still single. We used to move very much together, myself and Madhusudan. And every time, whenever Madhusudan goes alone in Guru Prasad, Baba would say that half Madhusudan has come. And if I go there, Baba would say half Madhusudan has come. It's only when we both go together, now it is a full Madhusudan. That's what Baba used to call us. So we were very, very close to each other. But because of his marriage, Madhusudan had a limitations in moving freely along with me. And merely out of mischief, I would say out of mischief, he opened this topic that when we are sitting in the afternoon before Baba in Guru Prasad, he opened the topic that Baba, now Pratap is also of a marriageable age, and uh, he is required to be married now. Baba immediately picked up that, and as if he taken the whole matter in his hands and said, "But where is the girl?" And Madhusudan's girl is there, Baba. So where are they? They said they are staying at Lonavala. But whether they know me, whether they are my lovers. Yeah, Madhusudan said, yes, Baba, they are your lovers. And she is very good girl. And just before that, I would like to tell you that in Pune, this family was staying a couple of houses in between when my sister was staying, and I was staying with my sister. I had seen this girl several times, and my sister had opened this topic that her name was Tara. Recently, she passed away in the month of May. Last May, she passed away and joined Baba. So, my sister had opened this topic, but had told everyone then that I can marry only if Baba permits me to do that. If Baba says no, I will never marry. That was very firm. I was very firm on that. Then, when Madhusudan said that this this is a girl, there is a girl, Baba wanted to see, but Baba said that Baba told me, you call her with her father. I want to see the girl. And in those days, there was no these mobile phones and all that. I just wrote a letter and sent that letter to them. They were staying at Lonavala, but Baba asked me to call them for the Sunday, coming Sunday. But surprisingly for me, they never turned up. And the whole day, Baba kept on inquiring why they have not come. And thereafter, when next day, when I went to Guru Prasad, Baba asked several questions to me. Baba asked whether you have posted letter, whether you have written letter to them. I said, yes, Baba. Whether you have written address, yes, Baba. Whether you have pasted a postage stamp, I said, yes, Baba. Whether you have posted yourself or you gave it to somebody to post it. No, said Baba, I have posted myself. How they have not, why they have not come? I said, I do not know, Baba. Then Baba said, now you can call them on coming Sunday. Let us see whether they come. And when we all came out, my all colleagues, Madhusudan and so many others, they surrounded me and said, no, Pratap, don't take a risk now. You personally go and bring them. And the same night, I took a last train at 11 o'clock, which reached there at 1 o'clock in the night, midnight. I walked through Lonavala is not so big city. So I walked through the railway track. I reached their home. They were all asleep. And seeing me at these odd hours, everybody was a little bit disturbed. They said, how you came such late? I asked, I was very much upset with them. I said, why you didn't come when you were called for? Have you not received my letter? My father-in-law, would-be father-in-law said that I have received your letter. but then I could not arrange for a trip to Pune. I was not satisfied with that answer. Now I said, now tomorrow you live with me. I'll take you because Baba has called you on. So the whole family team, I took the next day. I took them with me, and then we went to Baba. And as soon as Baba saw that girl, he said, uh, he did like this and said, I like the match, I approved the match, and you perform this marriage until the time I am in Guru Prasad. In fact, that was very less time left for the preparation, and my father-in-law, would-be father-in-law, he argued with Baba for a long time. Argument took place. Baba on my behalf, and he said, Baba, I cannot arrange for all those. This is the first marriage in our family, and I had to invite my relations and all that, and I won't be able to manage for money, and this is short time. But then Baba said, what is there to be to be spent? You just perform the marriage by registration. And somebody said that Baba, registration also requires 1 month's notice, and very few days are left. Then ultimately Baba agreed, but Baba put a condition that next year they should be married here when I'm in Guru Prasad. They should get married when I'm in Guru Prasad. That was the condition was laid down by Baba. And in between time, lot of things happened. He was postponing the date, and we were very keen. I was keen thereafter to maintain that promise which he had given to Baba, that next year when Baba is in Guru Prasad, this marriage should take place. And he kept on showing some excuses, but then ultimately I gave them a last word that if this if they do not marry by that time according to Baba's wish, then forget about this marriage. I will forget about this marriage, because my only duty was left, my only desire was left, that I should maintain that time which Baba had given to us. And somehow that marriage was performed. Baba had sent two of his representatives. One was Vishnu Master and another was Pendu Kaka. They attended this marriage on Baba's behalf, and that is how the marriage was performed in Pune. Now, after few days, Baba had called us for a special darshan. Myself and my wife went for special, that there were very few people, very few mandatory people, because it was exclusively for two of us to have that darshan. Both of us were called for the darshan. And my wife took Baba's darshan first. And then as I was going to take Baba's darshan, Baba stopped me. And Baba asked me, tell me, Pratap, sincerely, honestly, whether you love your wife more than you love me. My spontaneous reply was, Baba, I love you most, more than anyone. I love anyone else. And Baba is teasing my wife. See what he says. She says that, yes, Baba, I knew this from the beginning. You knew this from the beginning. And she don't feel anything about it. She said, no, Baba, I knew it from the beginning. He loves you so much. And I didn't feel Bhagavan because I also love you. That was the reply she had given. And then Baba allowed me to bow down to him. But thereafter, I just missed one point, which is a little bit important. I after my marriage, there is a custom that we are not allowed to move out of the house for a few days, for about 5 days or so, and unless that turmeric which is applied is washed off, we are not allowed to go out of the house. But on the very third day, I took bath and went to Baba, and these boys, all that mischievous group of Bombay and Pune, they started teasing me. Baba asked me whether she is conceiving now. And I said, Baba, I have not touched my wife still. Huh, why? Some say that there may be a guest in his house, and some said that he must be afraid of doing that and all that. I said, Baba, all these people are wrong. I am waiting because on this coming Sunday, you have allowed Baba families, Pune families to have darshan program, and I will bring my wife with me. I will take your darshan. Both of us will bow down to you, and then with your blessings, I would start my marriage life with your stamp of approval. That will be the stamp of approval. And Baba is telling the people, see what he says. And then he did like this. And that was how my married life started. I got a small house, and the further story. Every day I go to every time I go to Baba, Baba would ask whether she is conceiving, and no Baba, no Baba, no Baba, and I do not know why Baba was so much in a hurry. Only when I reported to Baba that doctor has examined and she is carrying, then Baba stopped asking me. I do not know uh, what we can just guess what what is the purpose for Baba asking me every now and then. When I reported to Baba, thereafter, after the whole period was over, the last day, it was Sunday. We both went to. She had completed all her days, whatever is 9 months. And then we went for Baba Darshan. There was Darshan program in Guru Prasad. We both went there. Baba made her sit right in front of him. And I was sitting along with the Bhajan Mandali, but Baba made her sit right in front of him. And she says that Baba was very happily looking at her. And thereafter, we had a little of, after Guru Prasad time was over, we went little for boating. Thereafter, we went home. And next day was Monday, our usual Monday program. I went for that program, and then she started all that labor pains. She was waiting very eagerly for me, and as soon as I reached home, she said that I I should take her to hospital. I took her to hospital in Tonga. I reached the hospital. The doctor examined, and the doctor told me that by morning she will be relieved of this. And then I went to one of my relations, my paternal aunt, and brought her to be with her. And then she gave a birth in the morning, early morning. She gave a birth to the daughter. This was to be reported to Baba. I immediately went to Baba and said that Baba, she gave birth to a daughter. Baba instructed me, now when you get discharged from the hospital, you have to bring that girl first to me, and then I said, all right, Baba. Those days, 10 days, they were keeping in the hospital. So after 10 days, 10th day, they gave discharge. I took a Tonga, and by that time, her mother had come to attend to her, and her mother, myself, and my wife, and that daughter. We went to Baba. Baba took that child on his lap, and he played with her cheeks, with his two fingers, and thereafter, and then handed her to my wife and said, now we can take her home. And then we took her home. That name of that doctor is Meher Jyoti. She is right here. Is she there, Prashant? Just people can. She is right here. This is the daughter which I got, the first daughter.
Jai Baba.
And thereafter, Prashant was born in the month of April, and 1st May was Baba's Darshan program. April, he had passed about 13 days or so. We are not allowed to take out at such a short period. There is a customary that only after 1.5 months the child can be taken out. That is the custom. But then on my insistence, my wife brought him. She placed him on Baba's feet during that darshan program. It was not a darshan program, it was only family matter. Families were invited for that program. The opening of Avatar Mein Baba Pune Center. My wife put him on Baba's feet, and then he was taken home. So that is how my 3rd son was born. I wrote a wire to Baba. Baba was in strict seclusion. But such news were to be allowed to be conveyed to Baba. And I wrote to Baba that his son is born to Tara. My wife's name is Tara. And Baba sent a letter written by Erech that Baba is happy that Tara gave birth to a male child. Baba has named him as Meher Nandan. The full name was given by Meher Baba himself. So Meher Nandan is another son who I am staying with him at present, and that is how my family has been under Baba's direct guidance. Now, I would. It is. Time is approaching. I feel now I would give time for any questions. If the people have to ask any question, they may please.
Jai Baba Kaka.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba everyone. Kaka, please tell us few stories of Baba that amazed you, that like his gesture or like his reaction on your talk, and
It is
like you.
it is both ways. Last time I had explained that if it is
Yeah.
concerning your personal life, you could understand. Baba was creating that understanding in you. Uh, Perhaps it is his inner working that whenever he gestures, you would understand it, even his gestures. Only when it comes to a philosophical topic, then of course, without interpreter, nobody can understand the gestures. But now, just for example, I tell you, if supposing you come to Baba, Baba knows your family. If you come to Baba without your partner, and Baba would ask, "Where is he?" You will immediately know Baba is inquiring about my husband. Or if his wife goes alone and Baba would ask about the husband, or if the husband goes alone for a darshan program, husband goes alone, Baba would see, where is your wife or where are your children? That could immediately, one could make out Baba wants to know about whom. And so both ways, if we are not able to understand, then errors would be there to interpret. So both ways, either it will be through gestures also at times we could understand. As I last time I had said that when Baba had reminded me of making naked, Baba simply did like this, whether you remember, that. And I could immediately make out what Baba wants to know. So such were the times during those times. Am I clear?
Jai
Thank you,
Baba.
Baba. Thank
Jai
you very
Baba.
much, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba,
Jai,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba Pratap ji, I just have one simple question. When Baba was in Guru Prasad, how often would he have the bhajan mandali sing for him? I mean, is it every week or every, on a weekend, or how did it go?
Usually it will be weekends, and in those days, Saturdays will be a half day. Those days, Saturdays will be a half days. Thereafter, that second Saturday and fourth Saturday, they came into existence. Otherwise, the earlier days, they used to have days on Saturdays. So we used to go to Guru Prasad on Saturdays afternoon and Sundays practically the whole day, except our lunch time. Lunch time we'll go home and then come back. Otherwise, practically the whole day. You see, there used to be two sessions. One session was from, say, Baba would be coming in the hall, Mandali hall at 8 o'clock, and he will sit up to 10:30, at the most 11 o'clock. Then he will give for luncheon to be with the women Mandali. And then for rest for some time, he will just lie down for some time, that's all. And then come back and then with us up to say 3:30 or 4 o'clock. That used to be the time. And during the time we are sitting in Baba's presence, we were never getting tired because Baba was all the time awake, not doing something or the other. This is very beautiful story about how Baba used to receive. Now, I will, since you have opened this topic, I will take a chance to narrate one incident. Baba, Baba would be coming when he comes to Guru Prasad. There will be circulars. In the circular, the whole program will be given. On such and such date, Baba will start from Mirazad at such and such time. He will arrive at Guru Prasad at such and such time. he will be in Guru Prasad up to this month, up to this day, and thereafter at such a time he will go back to Mehrazad. The whole program used to be chalked out, and then they used to inform all the people. And along with that, there will be instruction not to disturb Baba. And when Baba comes, we won't go to Guru Prasad because we won't disturb Baba anyway. We never did that because Dr. Ghani had told us that never displease Baba. So we were very careful about that. But that one amongst ourselves, we would say, this old man must have come now. Let us see how long he keeps us away. That used to be a gossip amongst ourselves. And then about 3-4 days, there will be message received from Baba that Baba wants all of you to, specific people by names, specific people, usual people. Baba wants to be in Guru Prasad at 8 o'clock. That will be mostly Sunday. And then we all will go with our good shave and good bath, good clothes. We will go to present all of us before Baba. And Baba will keep us waiting for some time. He will be sitting inside with Erech. Purposefully keep us waiting for some time. And thereafter he will call us. And he will ask, do you know since when I am in Guru Prasad here? Yes, Baba. You came last Monday. So you knew that I came on Monday. Yes, Baba. Even then, none of you felt that you should come to me and inquire about my health, whether I needed anything. None of you felt necessary, and you call yourself to be my lovers. You should feel ashamed of it, calling my lovers. No, get lost, get away from me, get away from my side. Don't sit on my chest. This is gesture, Baba. Don't sit on my chest. Get off here, and we will be driven out. we will wait outside. After some time, again Baba will call us inside, and again the same question. Why none of you felt that you should come and inquire about my health and all that thing? Baba, there were circular instructions, and none of was allowed to disturb you. And Baba would make a very, very, very significant statement. What he said is, that is for the world, but you are my own family people. And then he will tell us, whenever you are free, you can come and sit here with me. So that is how we used to go every Monday, every Saturday afternoon, and Sunday the whole day, practically the whole day. And any holiday, we will go there. We are never stopped from going there. That was a blanket permission Baba used to give. Your another question is there? Yeah, am I clear?
Thanks, Pratapji.
Jai Baba, thank you. Thank you.
I think Neher Chand ji had a question, right? He had raised his hand. Yes.
Kaka Jai Meher Baba.
Jai Meher Baba.
Can you remember Baba was very punctual and used to maintain punctuality. There was an incident with you are not punctual one time. Baba said you will cut with a blunt knife. Can you talk about that incident, please?
All right. I was reserving you for some other occasion, but anyway, you have opened this question. In fact, during Baba's darshan, after I got married, I was living quite far from there. And for me, it was all right to take a bicycle and come to Guru Prasad. But if I am to take my wife along with me, then I have to arrange for a tonga or I have to walk the whole distance. But then I had told my wife that whenever I want to go to Meher Baba, if you are ready, you can come with me. If you are not ready, I am not going to wait for you. You can manage yourself. That will the standing instructions from me. And I never used to go late. In fact, I personally didn't like to go late. Even in my afterwards, any Baba program, I never go late. So that was I mean, going to Baba for darshan program. It so happened that couple of times I had problem with my bicycle. Once it got punctured, so I had to take it to the shop and then got it that puncture repaired. And another time the chain was falling down every now and then. I have to get down and then fix up the chain and ride again, and then again it will fall down. Because of this, I got late some couple of times. And then once Baba, when I went to bow down to Baba, Baba stopped me. Baba said, nowadays I am observing that after marriage, you got spoiled. You got spoiled after marriage. Because before marriage, you used to come quite in time, come before time. But after marriage, you are always late. In fact, I was not always late. But then it so happened at times that when I come, Baba will be already sitting there. Baba would be coming little bit early. And then also Baba would say that you are late. So such occasions were happening. And here Baba is now blaming that after marriage, you got spoiled. So there should be a punishment for you. And he is asking the people what punishment we should give to him. People are suggesting several punishments, and Baba was not satisfied with that. And ultimately Baba said that there is one punishment which is in my mind. You should be cut. Your throat should be cut with a blunt knife, not sharpened, blunt knife, so that there will be it will be more painful for you to bear that pain. And Baba is happy with his own idea of punishing me, and he is asking other people, will that be all right? Will that be good punishment? Yes, Baba, that will be a good punishment for him. So that used to be such a nice times with Baba, unforgettable times with Baba. We remember so many things, so many times. And in fact, these memories are the energy giving points for us to live a life in the sweet memories of Meher Baba's time. This is what you expected me to say, na?
Meherchand. Yes, I guess. Good. Thanks, Sangat. So we have one coming from Jeff. Jeff wants to say something. Jeff?
Jeff?
Yes, Jeff is here.
Hey, Pratap. So, Pratap, can you share what your experience of Baba is now? But don't feel that you have to, I mean, that's a personal question, but how are you experiencing Baba now after spending all those intimate times with him back in the 50s and 60s?
कळलं मग? प्रश्न कळला?
नाही का?
How are you experiencing Baba now?
Yes,
Yes.
Baba has occupied the most of the every moment of our life. In fact, we are so very connected with Mer Baba. In spite, when Baba dropped his body, you will not believe, but for 1 year, I was not in my own self, because that vacuum could not be tolerated, could not be borne by us. It was so very unbearable for us. And believe me that even standing, if I stand in a bus queue, I would start shedding tears. If I am sitting in the office at times, if that memory comes to my mind, I will start weeping. That used to be, that kept on for 1 year. And after 1 year, I gradually became composed to the whole situation. And now, whenever I remember, I am alone, then I do remember so much. I go into that emotions many times. Still now, because those memories are very, very sweet memories, and we have felt that. We have experienced that love from Baba, that concern Baba, in how he used to inquire about us. We have experienced that, and that comes to our mind. Then it makes me weep. Last time, sometime I just had explained that joy and happiness, these are two different terms. Joy is momentary, whereas happiness happiness goes deep into your heart. And when you are alone, it comes on the surface and make you weep. Nice to see you, Jeff. Nice to see you.
Lovely
Thank
to see you. Yeah.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Yeah, we have, I guess this should be the last. Next question is from Ravin. Ravin, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravin? Yeah.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Kakaji, Jai Baba. Namaste.
Jai
My
Baba,
name is Ravin. I live in Ghaziabad. Just one thing, as a boy of 12, I had Babaji's photo in my house, but I didn't know anything about from my parents or anybody. I don't even know how that photo came to our house, and that was it. Now, just about a month back, somehow I have been touched by Baba, I must say. I came across Baba's writings and then a video and all that, and I became more inclined. Now, with this as the background, sir, I would like to know from you how Baba guides an aspirant, and how Baba used to, like, for example, we have gurus who give a mantra, and they're into a sadhana, and if there is any doubt or any obstacle, they fall back and they seek further guidance and things like that. So how does Baba guide an aspirant or a devotee? I know the concept of love has been very strongly practiced by all the devotees, and it has also been very strongly put across by Baba himself. That is very touching, I know that. But then how does the spiritual evolution happen over the years? Because you've been a very long-standing devotee of Baba, so can you kindly enlighten me on this, sir?
I will give the answer according to my understanding.
Okay.
One thing, that Baba never encouraged the people to follow any practices. There are some people who want to follow practices. And one such incident which happened in Guru Prasad, a saintly person by name Joshi Maharaj, he had come to Baba in the morning. One day he came to Baba in the morning. He had some questions about his practices, his spiritual practices. He had some questions and he had come for guidance to Baba. I do not know what conversation took place in between the two, but then that person went away. Baba guided him in his own way. That person went to his place. And then in the afternoon, when we all went to Guru Prasad, we were playing cards with Baba. Now, we were playing cards with Baba. That card is a different story altogether. Baba never wanted anybody to disturb when he is playing cards with all the mandali. And Eraj, who was Baba's right hand, Baba's interpreter, he said to Baba, Bal Nathu, one of the mandali people, he has written a letter to Joshi Maharaj, one who had come in the morning. That letter is to be handed over to him. Now, you tell somebody, some of these boys, to go and hand over the letter. And Baba said, no, don't disturb me. Now I am just playing, now don't disturb me. So Erez just keeps quiet. After about 5-10 minutes, he again reminds Baba. Again, Baba said, no, don't bring that subject again now. But third time when he said that, Baba, if all these boys go away, then nobody will be there to hand over that letter. And somehow Baba simply looked at him. I got up and told Baba, if you want, I can go and hand over that letter to him. Baba said, would you go? Yes, Baba. Do you know the address? Oh, I'll find out. I am very much used to Pune. I'll find out. Then Baba said, it is very hot outside. Whether you have a cap? I said, no, Baba, I'm not very much used to wear a cap, but it's all right for me. How will you go? I have a bicycle. So then you hand over this letter and come back. So I went, simply one person I asked, and then he showed me that big gate is there. Joshi Maharaj is staying there. When I went and that gate was open, I just pushed it and peeped inside, and that man was taking bath. There was a well right in front of that gate, and he had just finished his bath and he was wiping his body. When I approached him and I said that I want to see Joshi Maharaj, very strangely he said that the person standing before you, this body is called Joshi Maharaj. I said I came from Mera Baba, and Mera Baba has given this letter to be handed over to you. So he said that you please come inside. I said no, I have to go back immediately. But he said that if I have to convey to Baba, I will convey with you only. Just come inside. I will wipe off my body and then read the letter. So he went inside. I followed him. I sat on a bench and he sat on his seat there. Then he took the letter, touched his forehead, and then he said, I have tell Baba my salutation, my thanks and salutations to Baba. This much only he still said. And then he gave me prasad. I took that prasad. it was problem for me whether I should eat that prasad. I held it in one hand, and with the other hand, one handle in the bicycle handle, and I came to Guru Prasad. The moment Baba was watching a game of draft people, Baba's Mandali were playing that game. And when I approached, Baba asked first question, have you bowed down to him? I said, no, Baba, I never bow down to anybody else than you. And then Baba called me inside, then asked me what happened. I narrated the whole thing. Now, these are the things in between authority and a aspirant. So any person like me is not capable of making any comment on that. But one thing I would definitely say that whatever, if you have sincere question in your mind, you can stand before Baba's photo, Baba's picture, and ask Baba. You ask Baba, I very much sure and feel within my heart that he will give you the answer. Baba, you have to ask Baba. I think I'm very much clear in my reply. Or you have got any doubt about it?
Yes, no, fine. Thank you so much. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
And
Keep on asking Baba. Keep on asking Baba.
here is one question from somebody who doesn't want to name themselves. They have just asked it privately. They wanted to ask you, is this question: if everything that happens in our life is Baba's will, should we judge what is happening is right or wrong?
If everything is happening
in our life is Baba's will, should we judge by it by stating that this is right or this is wrong? Because everything is happening as per Baba's will.
You see, if you are linked up with Meher Baba, every moment of your life is happening under his vigilant eye. Now, there are certain facts about the samskaric pressures. Man, at times, the past samskaras are so very powerful that they override even the will of the beloved. They override at times, but ultimately the beloved's will prevails. Ultimately it prevails, but for a time it can create disturbance in your life. So don't just feel take a liberty. Don't take a liberty to behave the way you like, taking it to be Baba's will. That is not correct. Baba has said that samskaras, such things that even if you move your hand, it creates samskaras. So Baba has very specifically said that your samskaras, they should be balanced. They should be good and bad should be balanced, and they should be qualitative and quantitative. They should be balanced, qualitative and quantitative. This is a very important point. We should balance qualitative and quantitative. This calculation we can never do it by ourselves. It is next to impossible for us to calculate our own samskaras and try to do it according to our own convenience and all that. It's never possible. So whenever we do anything, we should take Baba's name and do. the responsibility goes on him, and he will, if he wants to deviate from that, he will deviate you from that. If he wants to you to commit that, he will allow you to commit that. But then you must have a firm belief and firm faith in him, and don't take liberty to put your own desire within that. Don't put your desire into that. It always Baba said you must have don't do a thing which you will not be able to do it in my presence. Don't speak a word which will not be able to say in my presence. All the three Baba has given. So we should always think about that, whether we will be able to do this when Baba is present here. If we are bound by this, then perhaps undue things will not happen from us. Baba will save us from all unfair things. Am I clear on that?
Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Pratap uncle. Thank you so much. A wonderful session. Now the participants can unmute themselves. So Avatar Meher
Baba ki jai.
Hey.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar
Meher Baba
Baba ki jai.